The video games industry is one of the most innovative and fastest growing industries in the world. The men and women of this industry work tirelessly to provide entertainment for the masses, and some of these provide the music. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves playing those video games. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves listening to video games. Do we even know who these people are? No. Would video games be the same without them? No.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Average Giants.
Hello!
I am the Average Gamer. With me, of course, is Might Be Giant.
I thought you were pointing to your penis. It might be giant!
Nice.
It's a good way to start the game.
Yeah, excellent. So today we're going to be playing some awesome games. First up is the Moon Sliver, and we have David joining us from that one. If you want to say hello.
Hello.
How's it going today?
Pretty good.
Good. I like the music and the intro.
It's a good start. A nice soft entrance into what will be as you put it, a horror adventure.
Yeah, narrative-focused sort of horror exploration game. Maybe a little more emphasis on the exploration aspect, but
Cool.
Sort of psychological horror elements.
Oh, cool. The title begins intended to be completed in one sitting. Okay. I was going to say, set aside an hour to complete it. So we'll try and get as far as we can. If we can't, the game is still in development, I believe?
No, it is finished.
Okay. And, where can people grab it if they want it?
It is on Tazura, it is on itch.io, and it is hopefully going to be on Steam at some point, but we'll see.
Okay. You are currently greenlit, though, right? Or you're on greenlight, though.
I'm on Greenlight, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I have links for all those things if you guys want them. I can't really put them in the chat, though. I don't have an account.
Oh, definitely. Even if you you send it to Might Be Giant's Skype, he can put it in the
I got
chat.
my Skype on right now, so you can send that to me.
Yesterday, 4 people lived on this island. Now only one remains.
So, I guess we're going to learn of the synopsis of this game pretty soon. We usually ask you right away, but this will be a different situation.
He said narrative focused. I am indulging.
Oh, good.
It excites me already. So,
Yeah.
how long did it take you to make the game?
Let's see. Wasn't too long. It was a few months. I can't remember exactly how many months, but
Yeah.
Is it all you?
yeah, all me. I did everything except for some of the sound effects,
Oh,
or most of the sound effects, I should say, which were gotten from Freesound. This Freesound is lovely.
Definitely.
I will give you a small tip to begin with. You might want to go back into the building you started in and read some of the stuff that was in there. That'll kind of help you get started.
Sure thing.
So what was the inspiration for this game?
Let's see. A lot of things. Usually what I do when I design something is I just start with an idea and then keep adding random ideas to it and taking parts away until it's oh, this is kind of a cohesive, logical whole. So with this, the basic idea was I wanted to do a horror game, but make it focused a lot more on I don't know I guess you'd say a more creepy hair standing up on end sort of style of horror rather than just jump scares everywhere.
Atmosphere
and I also
everything.
I'm sorry?
Atmosphere is everything.
Yes. And I also, with this and my previous game, I wanted to experiment a lot with horror through narrative rather than just horror through, monsters chasing you or things like that.
Totally. Ellie was a sullen and beautiful girl, the youngest of all of them. The mind unfit for lofty thoughts. She had once come in here to see if there was any old firewood. Otherwise, she stayed in her cluttered house where it was warm and familiar.
Ooh.
You want to read the next one?
Abel loved Isa, and he loved Daniel and Ellie. But when his mind wasn't turned towards their well-being, it was filled with thoughts of bleak hopelessness. Sometimes he would rifle through the barrel. The promise of undiscovered trinkets raised his spirits, if only temporarily.
guilty.
Through the crate.
Daniel was a quiet man who spent his life lost in books of old, or lost in his own thoughts. He wondered where the barrels had come from and who had put them there.
The mystery begins.
Dum dum dum. And then that's when, yesterday, 4 people lived on this island. Now only 1 remains. So who are we?
So, who am I?
Indeed.
Interesting. Do you have a background in like writing or anything like that? How did you come up with the narrative?
I don't. Yeah, I do have. I've written a bunch of stuff, but I don't necessarily have like a professional background in writing, and I didn't major in it in college or anything like that. But I've always been really interested in it. When I was younger, when I was like in elementary school, there was just this point where I realized, hey, you know what? I could write my own books instead of just reading them. And then I just started writing books and having fun with that, and reading books about writing and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I like how the text block fades into view.
Yeah,
closer to where it's at.
They reached the ruins and strolled leisurely through them toward the shoreline. Isa could remember when the old building stood there, filled with families.
I'm sorry, he said, and he cried because he often cried during these talks. For what, she said? For a lot of things. Oh.
Interesting. This is actually a lot of fun. Stared out of the water together for a time.
Then continued to walk along.
Both of us?
What?
You and me, we're staring out at the water for a time.
Yes, that's right. Damn, sand is in my eyes.
Yeah, it's very windy.
This is a really interesting atmosphere. It gives into the feeling of bleak hopelessness, like you were saying.
And it's nice that it starts off as just,
strange acidic smell emanated from the pipe.
Ooh.
Yeah, my idea with this was all of the narration and all the bits of text you find are all tied to the environment. I just wanted to, because it's a game kind of about exploring everywhere, so I wanted to tie the story into that idea of poking around and exploring. So the more you explore, the more parts of it you find to piece together.
Mm-hmm. Isa kept a smile on her face, although she did not feel like smiling.
I don't know. Oh, there it is. She sat down beside the flashlight. What about Ellie? Has Ellie mentioned anything to you, she said? She didn't take it either, he said. Nor did I, and nor did Abel, she said, and yet it's gone. What's that? What is that?
So did we take the flashlight? Fresh air from an unseen crack in the corner cut through the room's stuffy musk. So, is this the outlet? Yes. Perfect.
Yes, that is. Sorry, my video's a bit delayed. So
yeah,
we
got a couple seconds delay.
Oh, your turn.
That's okay.
Daniel, you're the last one I gave the key to, said Isa. Daniel stared at the mysterious control panels. He didn't meet her eyes. He never met anyone's eyes. I didn't take it, he said. Why would I take it? I'm the one that told you it was missing.
That's exactly what the thief would have said. The rusted junk cast shadows on the opposite wall. How do you know... how do you know Abel didn't take it, he said. Because I trust him, she said. He's a dismal man, but he would never hurt any of us. Do you trust Ellie? Daniel didn't answer immediately. I trust all of you, he said, because that's how we have to live.
This is really cool. This is really different from our normal show.
The small cast and kind of the isolation reminds me a little bit of Margaret Atwood book named Surfacing, where her and 3 friends go to a small island.
Okay, I have never heard of that or read it.
You should check it out.
I don't read books.
I was going to ask, were there any inspirations from like your own books that you've read or anything you've seen?
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think. As far as the narrative goes, I mean, probably a ton of things that are just kind of subconscious and I don't really realize. Mm-hmm. As far as the atmosphere goes, not books so much as other games. I was really heavily based on like the atmosphere of Myst and of Stalker.
Give me a good
Stalker, yeah.
feeling of Myst.
I was wondering about I always forget the name of it. People always relate it to Gone Home. And it's on an island. Started
Dear
as a
Esther?
mod. Yeah, Dear Esther. She's gonna ask
Yeah,
if
I
Dear
haven't
Esther is in
actually played that, although a lot of people who have played this are like, yeah, it's a lot like Dear Esther.
it. You
So-
should check it out.
She keeps
Yeah,
the chapel
apparently.
locked, and she's the only one with a key, said Ellie, leaning on the barrels and folding her arms. So you're saying she took it? He said.
I'm saying that she knows more than she's telling us, said Ellie.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So what's the socket for?
there you go. That recharges my flashlight.
Oh, okay, that's a
Yeah.
good. That's a good mechanic. I like that.
Yeah.
My problem is that she's a liar," said Ellie angrily, fiddling with the knobs on the machine as she paced around. "And that I have to keep explaining this to you over and over again. You don't know her like I know her." "Exactly. You're not an impartial judge," he said.
I have to type, sorry.
Types.
You call me a liar? I ain't calling you breakfast. There we go. That's better. Ooh, books. What is your problem with Isa? Daniel said, putting his book down. He was annoyed at being interrupted here.
I'm saying that
So
she
this-
knows more than she's telling us.
Again?
Yeah. So this conversation in here, it kind of plays out backwards, because the end of it is where you first enter the door, and the start of it is over at the chair there.
Oh, yeah, because he'd get up and leave, right?
Still
Yeah.
pretty. So,
Interesting.
is it worth going like clockwise through a building, or?
Not necessarily, no. There's no real rule to where the narrative fragments are going to be or what order they're going to be in.
Mysterious
per se.
liquid drained from the tank and into the water long ago.
Ew. Don't
So,
drink the water.
Let's not go for a swim.
If it's brown,
Yeah.
drink it down. If it's black,
Send it back.
Oh, this place was a forest once. A
Yep.
mighty forest of 3 trees.
Maybe I was just a kid. It seemed bigger back
It was
then.
a lot bigger
Yeah.
back then.
It's a forest for ants.
Sorry, that took me a second to get that.
Okay, sorry. I got distracted by Patrick Stewart saying acting.
Yeah, I was
back
seeing
in
that.
Acting.
It has to be at least 3 times bigger.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was referencing.
Oh, this must be
Maybe.
Yep. Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
No problem.
Boy,
Yeah,
talk
there's
about
a
dismal
big
living.
part. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
A big part of this is there's a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot of, but there are different layers to the story that you uncover the more you explore and the more you poke around. So it's not necessarily a game that you would think would lend itself to replayability, but it is meant to be replayed a couple of times to, get
Yeah.
more piece of the story. And it starts out kind of confusing and fragmented, but hopefully by the end you'll see what's going on.
That's a really good narrative device to draw in an audience too. Is confuse them so that they're like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on, but I want to figure it out. So they always come back, and in a game that'll really give you some lasting appeal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have played it and they got it, and some people have played it and they're like, I really don't get what happened. And
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on the person.
I can do this
What's
one.
okay, go for it.
What childlike emptiness I feel, to find the most peaceful solace in fantasy, to find in masquerades a truth more vivid than reality. What sort of twisted villains were the ancient writers to taunt us with their unreachable worlds more beautiful than our own? We have enough stored food to live long lives, but when our wood runs out, we will be cold, but only so cold as to be uncomfortable. The water is rising, but it will be many years before it reaches our homes. Technically, we survive, but to what end? This island is all the world we know, and it is nothing but the broken pieces of a fairy tale.
Crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's pretty good at reading.
I was
So,
doing a
you didn't
weird.
screw anything?
It's always
That's
been a
good.
weird thing that I could do, and I'm serious. I don't read. So, well,
Yeah.
No, this is why I'm good at that, because every thing that I've ever read has been at the speed of talking.
Sound.
I can travel through time at the speed of normal time.
Yeah, technically all of us travel through time.
We invented a time machine. It's called a plastic bag.
the FaceTime bag. You put it over your head and you take it off and you're in the future.
You, what day is it? Sorry, it's a
Metalocalypse
reference.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't know the reference, but
Yeah.
I like to do so.
Abel read to escape. Daniel read to feed his lofty, strange thoughts. Isa read to pass the time. But Ellie, as far as Abel knew, she hadn't opened a book in years. Nick. What did she do all day?
I don't read them.
What did she do all day? He didn't know. He just saw his Twitter go off all the time. Sometimes he worried about her. He worried about all of them. Were they as melancholy as he was? See, dang it, I had one mistake. Oh, you beat me. Oh, here's a note for you.
There is an evil man on this island, and I know him well. We played together as youths. We have cried together. We have eaten together. We have loved the same women, betrayed the same women. He is my constant companion and my worst enemy. He puppets my arms, legs, and mouth to his own selfish ends, and secretly hurts everyone I love as I watch, helpless, with their unshed velvet blood on my hands. He gifts my flesh with the indescribable pleasures and blights my soul with unutterable despair. His name is Sin, and we are irrevocably bound together. Surely there exists no hell worse than this.
Hellraiser? I got the pleasures and despair. I was like, oh, Pinhead.
Maybe.
And actually, there's another thing. I've never actually seen Hellraiser.
Oh man, you should. They're so good.
Just
I
watch
know,
a
I
couple
know.
of them, not all of them. There's lots.
Okay, well, I know there's like, I don't know, 12 of them or something. A bunch of them. I don't know how many there are.
Yeah.
You just watch the one where he's in space. That's the only one.
Oh
Okay.
God, don't.
Hellraiser in space. I
Yeah,
actually
that
think I
was-
saw that at
just like
Dollar General or
That
something.
was
Jason in
7.
space
Yeah, I
and-
think that was number 7.
Yeah, I think,
We won't get into it.
okay.
Every horror movie in space is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the best one of the series when
a rule
horror
of
movies
thumb.
go into space.
Yeah. When there are no plots left on this planet.
When there are no plots left on Earth.
They could make
My
more
wife's
candles.
over on the couch having a laughing fit.
They could make more candles. They couldn't make more wood. So Abel burned candles.
That doesn't make any sense.
Earwax.
No, yeah, I will be perfectly honest and say I'm not sure where they get the wax from, but just go with it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Earwax and belly button meat.
Yeah, earwax, there you go.
But it makes sense.
That's
with
what-
wood.
They have
Earwax,
many
I'm
wool
sticking to
sweaters
that.
to make belly button.
Now, it's interesting, before we go into this house, that we have such a point about the lack of wood, but we have so many power lines everywhere.
Those are important,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, there's, do you want me to explain the power lines? There's nothing else in the story that'll have to do with the power lines. They're just
Yeah,
sort
please
of
do.
to suggest. Well, they're meant to suggest that, like, if you go out to the shore, talking.
No problem.
If you go out to the shore and look out, you can see that the power lines extend out into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So and yeah, as someone in the comments just said, they actually lack any lines, and the
Yeah.
implication is supposed to be this is taking place in possibly a post-apocalyptic scenario, or at the
the
very
water
least that this
rising.
was a more what would you say, developed area that has succumbed to flooding. So that's the idea with the power lines, at least.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Daniel sat with Ellie under the tree, his arm around her.
Her? Is it the tree?
No.
You know, funny point. In school I had to read a book called 100 Years of Solitude, and this one guy grows so old that he sits under a tree and becomes part of the tree and then becomes the tree.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
weird.
Kind of creepy.
That's hardcore.
Yeah,
It kind
right?
of reminds me of, what the hell is it called?
Totally.
Yep, the one with Hugh Jackman and The Fountain.
Oh, God, I love that. I love
What
that
is
movie.
what is it?
The
The
movie's called
Fountain.
The Fountain, and it's an incredibly, it's a great movie.
I remember when the moon still shined, when each night was bathed in a warm silver, and the shadows were mysterious and friendly, and the island was a place of joy. That was many years ago. Since it disappeared, this place has become cold and stark, plagued by an inexplicable sense of loss and despondency. Daniel and Ellie are young. They do not feel it. They do not remember what the world used to be like. But Abel and I do, and we are both filled with longing for intangible joys that it can no longer provide, for friends that do not exist, for feelings that cannot be reasonably felt. When I was younger, I smiled because I felt like smiling. Now, that smile is a disguise. Ooh, this is deep. I like this. This is very well written. Ooh,
Thank you.
Just make sure I can't grab this.
What was harder to do, the overall game itself or the storyline with it?
Probably the storyline, actually. Because the game, the actual game programming and asset creation was fairly basic. I mean, some of the assets I already had created from my last game, and I just moved them over. But yeah, coming up with the story to go in with my idea of having, all these things you could interact with to see pieces of narrative and piecing them together. Actually, writing that story was a little bit difficult.
I can see that for sure.
Isa didn't know what the object was, but she remembered her father tinkering with it in his workshop when she was a girl. The workshop and the adjoining home were now far underwater. She was not a young woman, but even now, seeing it brought her comfort. Abel came in. "How do you get into storage?" he asked. She shut and locked the box. "I've told you before," she said. "I forgot," he said. "I don't go there often." "Press the first 3 until they click. Leave the 4th alone," she said.
Ooh, okay. Remember that. Write that down.
Press the first 3 until they click. Leave the 4th alone.
I was going to mention about how it's interesting when you're doing a narrative like this, because a lot of games will do interactive novels and that kind of stuff too. But it's such a different medium, because in a book, you have a start on the one cover, you have an end on the other cover, and you get to decide the pacing and everything in between. When you try and make this immersive kind of interactive narrative, people have choice. And that choice can really screw with how you want to present your own narrative.
Yeah, this is why a lot of games that try to be very story-focused also end up being extremely linear, or eliminating a lot of gameplay, which in this case you could argue I've also done. And that's one thing I want to experiment a lot with in the future, is figuring out how do you integrate actual, mechanical gameplay with a narrative and not make one just kind of tacked onto the other, if you know what I mean.
Let's read this. She took
You
the knife
did
from
finger
the shelf.
bones?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
I didn't
really?
know that.
Oh, did you guys play that as well?
I saw was it Markiplier
Yeah, it was
played it?
Markiplier.
Yeah, Markiplier did it.
Ah, that's awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to try something a little less depraved for my next game.
She took the knife from the shelf. The blade was dull and rusty, but it was still pointed. She was not smiling. What was I going to say? I wanted to bring up... I really respect developers like yourself and people that are tackling those heavier issues. A lot of people in the industry, it's kind of a controversial thing, would not consider this a game because it's more of a narrative experience. But
Yeah.
indie gaming is... this is what we are. We are the people that get to experiment, and we're the people that get to challenge the genre or the established foundations of what makes a game. So it's always great to see original concepts like this and really well done narratives. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Oh, thanks.
But you
That
guys-
is one of the... Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay,
Go ahead.
keep going. I'll continue after you say whatever you say.
Okay, I was just gonna say that is one of the big reasons that I also really like indie games and playing different weird, experimental indie games, because it's I like seeing all the new stuff people are doing.
Anyways, you go back to when was Myst created? 1994, 95?
The
It was
first one?
somewhere around then.
Yeah.
I want to
And-
say 96, but that might be...
No, it was
And-
before. I always judge it when I got into PC gaming was 1996 because Warcraft 2 came out, and I think Myst was before Warcraft 2, at least the first one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't remember when it came out.
It just makes you wonder, this game is now considered almost not remotely normal in the world of gaming. And it's what happened along the way that made it so that this no longer would be considered a game.
93
Gone
called
Home
it.
is no longer considered a game. is not really considered a game. Just things
Well, I
like
think
that.
part of it is also, like, there is a difference in that Myst is so very heavily puzzle-focused.
Yes.
And both this and, like, Gone Home and, as from what I've heard of Dear Esther, are not really puzzle-focused at all. And I think that's where, like, Total Biscuit draws the line, and I actually disagree with him on that line, but, is that when there is no challenge, it ceases to be a game. Now, I disagree with that, but I think that's where a lot of people draw the line. It's like, well, if the challenge is not there, or it's a very minimal challenge, then it's not really a game.
So what would you call it? A video book?
Interactive experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I personally think that I personally don't believe in drawing lines in the sand when there's no need to draw lines
Exactly.
in the sand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because the label video game is already incredibly archaic and not fitting to what video games actually are.
As well as genre titles.
Yeah.
I was going to say comic books went through something similar in that they really didn't get the kind of credit that you deserve. You wouldn't think of Alan Moore as an author doing things like Watchmen or V for Vendetta when they were called comic books. And it wasn't until they redefined themselves as graphic novels, which is really just relabeling them. And that changed society's view on it. And video games are trying to go through the same thing without... So, like, everybody's trying to define this and define that, and it's kind of
Gotta
daunting.
stop doing it.
Bit of a crazy time. Kind of an exciting time, though.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Abel often visited Daniel. He loved to talk, and Daniel loved to listen. Isa and I were out for a walk, said Abel as he entered. I thought I'd stop by before you got caught up in a book. Daniel put his book down. Hello, he said. His expression confused Abel. Interesting.
Yeah. Hello.
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 Go ahead.
Daniel took down the dead flashlight and replaced it with a fully charged one, listening to Abel talk and thinking unrelated thoughts. He preferred the sharp illumination of flashlights to the dimness of flame. Abel often... I can't read that.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, this. Now that I'm thinking about it, this whole area here.
Oh, that chair and that wood back there both had narrative attached to it.
Think about the very end of... I don't want to really mention this, but think of the very end of Waterworld.
I was thinking Waterworld earlier.
Because it looks like... Well, they said that certain things are now deep underwater, which means that, you know, something could have happened, some sort of apocalyptic thing, possibly with water levels rising. So this could be like...
Al Gore!
I'm super cereal, you guys!
I've been thinking about life, said Abel, sitting down, and death, and uncertainty.
And firewood.
And firewood.
Daniel
And fire,
stared at the
yes.
pile of wood. He hadn't burned wood for months. Let's talk about Ellie instead. Abel was silent for a moment. What about Ellie? He said. Daniel didn't need to answer. Abel swallowed. All right, let's talk about Ellie.
Interesting.
Now, I will tell you that there is a... hold on one second. Maybe you haven't visited there. No, you did. There is a box in the house that was lit entirely by candles that can be opened with a key next to it, and that kind of explains that part of the narrative a little further. What was going on in the house. I've watched a couple Let's Plays, and I don't think anybody has actually found that. So.
Yeah, 'cause we got one box and 2 keys so far.
Would you ever consider putting in one of those, like, percent complete things?
Well, I do have a full walkthrough included with the game. There's a text file that tells you everything you can find.
That's a good thing to put in. That would be...
Yeah, I just figured, you know, I'd want people to find things.
Yeah.
So.
That's an interesting way to convince people to keep playing, to find those things, is to put that percentage in.
Oh, it was back in the group of 4 houses.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that.
Well, it's a good thing he's playing, because I totally get backwards whenever I play a first-person perspective game.
Oh, really?
I have no idea why, but I just completely lose where everything is, and I have no idea why. That's a bunker.
Monster
like a
tracks
bunker.
leading from the hatch were brand new, but the wind quickly erased them. Oh, Wait, what?
Yep, now the
Monster
horror
tracks.
part is coming in a little bit.
What?
Uh-oh.
There are tracks.
Monstrous tracks.
Monstrous tracks.
And
Oh,
they're
it means
fresh.
sound like a car or something. It's
Yeah,
monster
truck.
Monster
tracks.
trucks. They're coal-powered monster trucks.
It's gonna
Yep,
sound
that's-
juvenile, but if anybody has seen the Ultimate Spider-Man, they have the Howling Commandos, and they have a monster truck. It's like a truck that's made out of monster parts, and it's...
Oh, nice!
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Savvy,
Oh, gosh.
savvy. Consummate bees.
Consummate. Okay, there's the box.
So
oh.
it is to your... Yeah, there's the box, and there should be a key right next to it on the right.
Yep. It was in the shadow.
Oh, yeah, and it's hard to see with the flashlight.
He
I
watched
guess that's why no one has found it.
He watched Ellie put her clothes back on, his eyes unfocused, not
Uh-oh.
really seeing her. She didn't say anything. Her lips were pursed in that eternal ignorant scowl. Ooh. He got up from the bed and opened his box. He used to believe that one day he could plant the last few seeds and they would be able to grow food again. But now he knew that the ground was poison. Isa had given the seeds to him for safekeeping. Isa loved him. Isa trusted him. His eyes filled with tears, but he didn't let Ellie see. I'm supposed to meet Isa for a walk, he said. She didn't answer. She just left. Whew.
I want to say right here, the font you're using is very signature.
Novel.
The way that poison is written, it doesn't look like the word poison, but that is how you spell it.
Actually, is it?
Yeah,
What?
Oh,
No!
yeah, I see what you mean. It looks like it's misspelled.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Huh.
not. What?
Boy, did I...
I
Boy,
think
Zeon.
it might
I
be-
think
yeah,
I did
there is an
misspell it,
I.
actually.
It
That's
is
why it looks like it's
poison.
misspelled.
It's okay.
There are a couple typos in
Yeah,
the game.
with this kind of narrative,
You
that's
got
a
me
lot of
confused, man.
narrative. I got myself
Yeah, I did.
confused.
I did run everything through spell check, but I guess I missed a few things.
Yeah, no worries there. The deadly spider.
Oh, I should mention real quick. I remembered. I said that I did everything except for some of the sounds, but I forgot. No, most of the textures are done by other people as well.
Well, textures
Oh, yeah.
are a pain in the ass. So.
They are.
Hey guys,
There's
I
a
made a
reason
brick
Fingerbones
today.
had really pixely textures.
This took me 7 hours. I made a
Uh-oh.
brick.
I think there's some drama
Exactly.
unfolding here. What were you and
There's-
Abel doing at his house yesterday while I was climbing the mountain, he answered. Casually flipping through the book on her table. It was covered in dust. That is the end, or middle of the conversation, isn't it? Right.
It is, yes.
Which means I should start over here. Book.
Ellie was laying on the bed. Daniel came in. She scowled at him suspiciously and beautifully. What were you and Isa doing in that old power building? What were you talking about?
Mm-mm.
And that's the beginning of the conversation.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll mention the wood pile has something attached to it too. That seems to be one that was really hard for people to find. Yeah.
She glared at him. I'm not going to get wood, she spat.
I'm going to get one.
Oh, I'm going to get wood, she spat. Did you think I was too stupid to know, he said. I'm going to get wood.
Jeez.
But she already got the wood. Oh, snap. Sorry.
Oh dear.
If you notice, I carved the letter D on it.
And then it's, what were you and Abel doing at his house yesterday while I was climbing the mountain, he answered, casually flipping through the book on her table. It was covered in dust. So it sounds like there are
Oh.
4 people.
Oh. Oh.
Oh yeah. Sorry, the video was delayed. I didn't
Yeah.
know it. Yeah.
No.
It gets
Chill just ran down my spine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, now we got some music too.
Ambiance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry
I see
about the
4.
show.
Which one's the last one?
Shoot.
You think? It's got to be this way. We'll do it this way.
Okay.
First, anyway.
Do it until it clicks.
1, 2, 3. Read that one. Nope. Okay.
No, this is actually an extra hatch.
Oh, okay.
So that one is not the hatch that code goes to. I'll just tell you to save you some time.
Yes. Oh, that's a good thing. This is really well done atmosphere. I was gonna
Thank you.
ask about the beginning because it was very quiet. There wasn't much like for background music, and then But I see you've done that as a choice because you want to accentuate it there. When you
Yeah.
should be. It has very emotive music when it needs to.
Yeah, there are several musical tracks in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all just silent.
Might as well. Oh man, the one that the monster came out of? Does that make sense to try and open that one?
Yes, that would be the one.
Oh god.
I do take some sadistic pleasure in doing this to people.
Oh, it's gonna.
You realize too, this is exactly what I wanted.
Okay, good.
I was thinking, you know what would be fun? It would
Scaring
be
the
to
crap
have
out
a
of-
scary game played in real time
Yeah.
while talking to
Oh,
the
thank
developer, who usually has that pleasure to just see people jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is, and the funny thing is, I mean, I like horror games, but in general, like, I respect Amnesia: The Dark Descent a lot, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't enjoy it one bit because I didn't enjoy that sort of terror at all.
It's
So,
it's a lot like Breaking Bad. It's like one of the
Mm.
best TV shows I think I've ever watched because it was so
Mm-hmm.
engaging, but I didn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy it. But I'm glad I watched it. It's the same thing with Amnesia. Great game.
yeah,
But oh my god, I did not enjoy playing that game. I did that
Yeah.
for my fans.
yeah, I played that game to review it basically.
Yeah. Ellie was uneasy. The darkness had never felt this menacing before. It seemed alive, watchful. So we... Okay. Now I'm probably wrong.
Oh, there's more of them.
Yep. The code was long forgotten. Nobody had been below in many years. What I'm getting is that we have two couples, and it sounds like one or both may have been unfaithful, but we also have some form of mutant coming up to kill everybody at the same
Ellie!
time.
Daniel's voice echoed around
Yes.
the tunnels. Silence.
Oh man. She couldn't explain the feeling. It was as though something was lurking around every corner, staying out of sight, staying ahead of her. Around here? Nope.
That's my worst part, is when you have to turn a corner. Corners! Daniel heard soft, scratching footsteps behind him. He turned and shined his flashlight around the tunnel. Nothing.
So I don't need this then.
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll be playing the second part of Emma's story coming soon on my channel.
Oh really?
Because it just came out.
Oh.
That's an Amnesia custom story. That was the very first Amnesia: The Dark Descent game that I played.
Oh.
Before Amnesia itself?
Yeah, I never
Okay.
played actual Amnesia. In fact, I played a Machine for
that's
Pigs
still-
before I played the first one.
That
Okay.
blows my mind. I still like the first one a bit more.
Well, the thing is that it was kind of a good thing, because I mean, so many people focused on, you know, they put number 2 in such a limelight.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, we can get into it, but a lot of it is the dev team.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Completely different dev team.
she'd never felt like this before. She knew these tunnels well. She had been down here hundreds of times, yet she was lost. Lost, confused, and afraid.
That's not good.
I am getting, like, goosebumps. I don't do well with horror games. Giant set this up purposefully. He told me
Oh.
about this weeks ago. He's like, you're going to play this one. I was like, I don't want to play that one.
Honestly, I thought that I was gonna play it.
This is more the type of horror that I personally enjoy too, like that creepy, getting goosebumps sort of
Yeah.
horror,
So
rather
you
than,
like-
you know, something jumps
So
out and
you
startles
like
you.
The game Vanish.
If this was Vanish, I would be about to die.
Yeah.
Nope.
I have watched the Markiplier series of Vanished videos.
I just saw the last one yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna reveal this secret now, just because we can, and I will.
I guess, yeah, we confirmed it, didn't we?
Yes, we are confirmed. July 28th, we are talking to 3 drunk men and playing Vanish.
Yeah, on Average Giants, so make sure to join us.
Yep.
I-
Average Giants
Wait for
plays
that.
Vanish
Yeah.
with the developers
Oh.
of Vanish.
Sorry, I have to take a 30-second break here.
I may have to join for that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna pimp the crap out of that one.
Called again. Ellie! Still no answer. But he heard the footsteps again. Oh.
It's just ROUSs.
I'm sorry?
Just some ROUSs. Rodents of
Oh.
unusual size.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so lost now though. This is such a maze. Oh good.
Oh, knocked over candle.
Unused flashlight.
Is that a candle?
No, it's
oh,
a
no, it's a
flashlight.
flashlight. No. He didn't even have time to cry out at the shadow silhouetted in his flashlight beam lunging towards him.
Oh my god.
Oh, shoot.
So, this is giving me kind of flashbacks of Penumbra, where it's a lot of setup.
That is another game series I really like. I actually like that more than Amnesia.
I liked it just because the setup from the atmosphere. Like, from the very beginning, you know something is off, and you're just going around waiting for it to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that whatever we're going to be up against is going to be right behind us. Don't turn around yet.
There's lag with the... Not lag, but like, as you turn, the flashlight then goes with you, so... It's
That's
like
a
you
neat
can
little
turn
mechanic.
around, but the light isn't going right away.
This is a very
Yeah.
large room.
Oh god!
Guessing that was the growl. I have my sound off.
She felt its breath before she felt its claws, and then she was gone.
Okay, this is gonna be an interesting game of can we beat the game without me swearing?
Well, it might be a good thing if we can't make it through, because then it gives people a reason to play.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
We have
Yay,
we have
I'm gonna die.
We have 18 minutes to dead.
Oh my god, really?
I think you can get through it in 18 minutes easily. You're actually not too far from the end. But there's... well, you'll see.
Oh god, that's
So,
not a good
oh no, oh no, oh god, oh god.
Did your-
So, while I'm still cognizant, do you have any future plans now that this game is released and everybody seems to be enjoying it?
As in, like, plans for other games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one, I developed this, like, right after Fingerbones. Like, I released Fingerbones a couple months ago and then immediately started on this. But next one, I don't think I'm going to release that soon. And I'm not sure that it's going to be a horror game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've just been kind of, like, writing some music for it and, you know, thinking up what I want the art style to be and different ideas. Just kind of brainstorming and taking my time.
Ah. So in chat we have some awesome pictures that Savvy always takes. Savvy, can you show some pictures of the last time that I played Vanish? Just for a teaser as to what we're in for at the end of this episode and on the 28th.
Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can. I was watching. I'm like, I was making those faces. Are you serious?
She couldn't explain the feeling. It was as though something was Oh, right. I already did that. Fine.
Staying ahead of.
I'm getting like shaky.
Whoa.
Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, we're getting the same
Yeah,
messages now.
But when I came up here last time, I turned right. We didn't go down this.
See, I would be ass backwards right now.
I could not find the way out right now.
Which might be a bad thing.
I think I actually missed... I didn't see one turn, but I think... Yeah, you've been down here.
Yep, I have. Oh snap! This is good. I'm guessing this is like some kind of bunker from the old. There we go.
That is a wonderful face.
Oh, Savvy is the best for snapping off shots. Oh, good.
And then if you turn right here, you've actually done everything that you can do down here.
Okay.
Well, kind of. That technically you can get into that hatch if you would like. It's just another little bit of the story.
I'm gonna leave that for everybody else. You guys can go figure out the story.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
And it's a thing that if you read it right now, it'll be like, I don't see what the point of that is. But
Oh, yeah.
it's a
Night is
big
cold.
reveal for the entire plot. So
Is it raining?
Yep.
Oh,
Night was
it is.
cold and wild. Oh my god! Did you see that game on the Unreal 4 engine where PewDiePie did it and Markiplier did it? Oh, it's got aliens in the farm.
Daylight? No. Oh yes. What is that called?
It's supposed to be it
Dang it.
changes every day and night cycle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just trying to remember the name. I've seen that. I've seen a couple plays of that.
This feels like the same kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, although they they definitely had a lot more resources where their graphics were concerned. It's made on the same engine as this, and they just.
We're at a
I saw
point,
that.
though.
I'm like, why do I even try?
We're at a point though where graphical fidelity isn't like the be-all end-all for games, which is nice.
Yeah.
Nintendo
Yeah.
kind of established that, kind of.
Although I will mention I've gotten many comments about this where people were saying that the graphics were bad or that they weren't interested in it because the graphics were not.
I see.
Those are called children.
Okay. I feel like I missed life, he said. Like it whizzed right by while I was looking. And I'm watching it disappear into the horizon. Stuck in this prison. Oh, come on, she said. Look out at the water. Isn't it beautiful? It's lonely, he said. Lonely and infinite.
Now I will help direct you guys since we're running low on time here.
Certainly.
Let's see, video lag. If you continue along the shoreline to your right, you'll run into a building. Your right. The right.
Other right.
I'm trying to compensate for video lag.
No worries,
so,
no worries.
Yeah, you'll want to go so that the water's on your left. Yeah, like that. And you'll run into a building, and you have the key for that building now, so you can go in there.
I know exactly which building you mean.
Yeah.
That was the
And I will
building
mention
was
that some astute viewers or you guys might notice that there is light coming in the windows even though it's nighttime. That is intentional.
Oh, crap.
Daniel was still thinking about his talk with Abel the day before as he absent-mindedly picked the book up. Something caught his eye, or rather, the lack of something. Oh, this was in the, this is one of the screenshots.
The moon sliver was gone. The word of Hector the Fourth. Again,
Yeah,
the
you don't
moon...
want to read all of these, by the way.
Okay, and in order I'm gonna...
In order would be good, yeah. It's not
This
necessary,
is-
but...
The word of Hector the First. The moon sliver was written by the pure spring rain, upon pages of dried leaves, and found by noble Hector. The moon spoke to Hector, saying, "Take this, the moon sliver, and make it for a place in the chapel of infinite light, for it is a holy document. Man cannot read it, but its every letter is known to the demons of the night, and greatly feared. Know that it will protect you, and even should my light cease to bathe the night in holy silver, give it a place of honor, and treat it as a prized possession, for it is your weapon against evil." And so Hector took the moon sliver, and placed it in the chapel of infinite light, upon a silver pedestal. And the night was warm with light, and the day was bright with warmth. Oh my god, this is beautiful music.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's 4. There's 2.
The woodland teeth, the monster of the forest, was more tenacious than the other demons. It hated the people of Hector, and desired to take the island away from them. And it lurked in dark corners and unseen passageways, scheming horrific schemes. It came to pass that Ursula was taken, stalked by the woodland teeth, in the dark underground, attacked, and dragged down to hell. Then the moon came to Hector in a dream, and said, "Hector, the time has come. Your great enemy has arrived. You would all do well to tremble, for his power is great, and his depravity is unspeakable. Go, take the moon sliver from its pedestal, and do battle." And so Hector went to the Chapel of Infinite Light, and retrieved the moon sliver, and went into the tunnels.
And you can now go right for number 4 if you want. Number 3 is behind one of the shelves, and it is basically just meant to be kind of in tatters, and you can only read some of the words.
Oh,
So what happens in number 3 is he defeats the woodland teeth. That's
the word of Hector the Fourth.
I'm just trying to make sure.
Of course. Again, the moon came to Hector in a dream. "The woodland teeth is vanquished," it said. "Your people are safe for now, but it still waits, lurking in the depths. It fears the moon sliver, and it will not dare appear again while the holy document remains in your possession. But know this, should the moon sliver ever be destroyed, even by my divine light will not be able to save you from the wrath of the woodland teeth and the darkness of hell. Keep it safe, keep it ready, and may you live in prosperity on this island that I have given you. Let your prosperity be a sign that the words I speak are true." So the moon sliver is gone.
And there is a monster on the island.
He stared at the empty days for some time, struggling to comprehend. Oh,
Comprehend. There's another typo.
struggling to comprehend this simple, shocking fact. Had someone moved it? Isa, perhaps? She was the only one with a key to the Chapel of Infinite Light, but Ellie or Abel could have borrowed it from her, as he had done, or taken it. Regardless, he had to tell the others. Uh-oh.
And now, do you remember that door that said, "Come back when it is night"?
Yep.
You can now go there. And that is the last part.
Is it really loud?
Oh man. Yep. Oh man. And my flashlight is useless.
Do you even know where you're going?
I have a vague inkling. I'm walking towards the mountain right now.
Your flashlight will never go out completely. It'll just flicker, so you can use it.
Holy. The light is house 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the direction to the mountain. Yep. We want to go left.
Yes.
We need to follow the mountain.
Well, it really does set up the desolation of this place.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
Holy!
I'm
I'm actually sweaty.
There you go.
Isa couldn't remember the last time she'd been under the mountain. There was no reason to come here, but she had looked everywhere else. She clutched the old knife in her right hand. Yesterday, the moon sliver went missing. Today, Ellie, Daniel, and Abel were all nowhere to be found. She knew the word of Hector by heart. The sinister implications were not lost to her.
Ellie, she called. Daniel? Abel?
It is... Well, Abel heard her and answered, "I'm here."
There was something strange about his voice, something Isa didn't like. What are you doing here?
I'm reading of ages past, he said.
Do you know where Ellie and Daniel are? She said.
I do not, he said.
They're missing, she said. They're missing and the moon sliver is missing. Do you understand me? Do you understand what this implies?
I do, he said.
Night will fall in a few hours and we need to stick together. We can sleep in the same house, mine and yours. We'll keep the fire burning. We'll keep the door locked and we will pray, Abel. We will pray to the unseen moon for mercy and protection.
Are you happy here, Isa?
We can't stay in the dark. It thrives in the dark.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Please, Abel.
There were tears in his eyes, and he struggled to control his voice. Isa, I know you. I know every inch of you, and I know every corner of your mind. You aren't happy. None of us are happy.
Isa didn't respond.
I'm staying here. The tears were flowing freely now. I would like it if you stayed with me. Isa, please stay with me.
It will find you, Abel.
I let it out, Isa. I destroyed the moon's... Oh, shit.
Isa was also shocked and silent.
I burned it yesterday after I talked with Daniel.
Her eyes were filling with betrayed, angry tears. What? Abel, no. Why? Do you want to be dragged into hell? Do you want us to be dragged there with you?
We're already in hell. This island, this horrible, barren, lonely island, this place of sin, this is hell. I saw the blasphemous scraps of paper Jeremiah found those many years ago. I read them before they were destroyed. Perhaps I was the only one who did, and I did not believe them. But I have lived life since then, and I have seen the truth of their words.
Isa could not respond as tears streamed down her face. She just kept walking toward the sound of his voice, the knife clutched in her hand. I believe in the word of Hector, she said, and I will not go to hell.
Please trust me. Please.
I believe in the word of Hector, she said again, and she put the knife to her chest, point first.
No! No, I said, please don't. Stay with me. Don't leave me alone.
I love you, she spat tearfully. I love you so much. She closed her eyes and pushed. She remembered where the heart was located from one of her father's old books. Abel was too slow to catch her falling body. He knelt beside her and sobbed for some time.
He was not a strong young man anymore, but Isa's body was light. He would take her out to the water. She had always loved the water. But then what? Read? Read until it found him? No, he didn't feel like reading anymore. He was ready to be rid of this entire cursed island, books and all.
He would simply wander, aimlessly and freely, to take one last look at the island and feel the wind blowing the memories away.
And then, when night fell, he would return.
And wait. Oh, man, that was so good!
Thank you.
Oh, holy... Oh, just that thing in the shadow.
Yep.
Wow. So the other two, I'm assuming the monster would have...
Yeah, that's what happened in the tunnels.
Okay, yeah, that
Ellie
makes
and
sense.
Daniel, yeah.
Yeah, that completely makes sense.
And then these are just the credits.
No, that's beautiful. Oh man, I'm jitterbugged. Goosebumps.
I'm all sweaty, you guys.
Yeah, that was tense. That was tense and heavy, and a perfectly done narrative. That you
Thank you.
really how can I even say that? I was
Hit
so
the nail
immersed.
on the head.
I was so immersed.
Thank you. Really glad.
The narrative presented itself as well. Like, it was, I wouldn't even say that was linear. I didn't feel like I was being pushed in any direction. I was free to
You're
explore
pretty
everything.
free to go. You can actually visit all the buildings except for the chapel and the last area in just about any order you want.
Mm-hmm.
I've even had some people go down into the hatch first because they just guessed the code. So
There you go.
But even then, I mean, the way that your narrative is set up, even if they were to go into that first, you would see what happened there, and then it would go backwards and kind of explain it for them. So
yeah,
it's very well set up that way.
thank you. Yeah, I really just wanted it to be a interesting, immersive, narrative experience for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it perfectly ended. We have 3 minutes until 8 o'clock, so I need to go get a drink of water or walk around for a few minutes.
Gonna moisture ourselves.
Oh man!
Okay.
Thank you so much, David, for being on the show. That was a I want to say a blast, but that was more of like a very heavy and emotive, beautifully done game. And I just want to thank you for the experience. That was really good.
Yeah, thank you for inviting to be on. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're glad you could you could make it on there. It's nice change of pace for us as well.
Oh, my heart's still going. As well, let us know what you do in the future, because every game you seem to knock out is a hit. So we would love to have you back on the show.
Okay, I will definitely do that then. I'll keep you guys in the loop.
Perfect. All right. We're
Okay.
gonna go for a quick break, and then we'll be back with Cluster Puck 99.
Yeah, and we do have a copy of this to give away that was donated to us from Zika in chat. So we'll figure out how we're going to do that. We'll probably do it at the beginning of the next segment.
We'll do it.
But until then, guys, we'll talk to you in a few minutes. Thank you very much.